everybody to my latest video. So for this video, what we're gonna do is we're gonna take a trip down memory lane. Now, basically I'm gonna show you pictures of my very first Mame arcade cabinet. Now, I also got some pictures of some other stuff. There's not too many pictures, but I was looking through my storage drive, and I found these, and I thought, you know, might as well make a video of it. The stuff isn't great. I can laugh at myself nowadays. But, you know, many of us who are into arcades, or at least I would assume many of us, we probably started our arcade collection by first getting into Mame. And I myself think Mame is a great program. Others hate it. There's purists who despise it, but I always thought Mame was great. I've had multiple Mame cabinets over the years. I've bought and sold, or actually I've built and sold Mame cabinets. And the last one I had was probably about a couple years ago. It was an X-Men arcade cabinet that I converted into Mame. Everything was original still on the inside, so, you know, for you purists out there, no harm was done. But I eventually got an offer on that, so I sold that. But anyways, let's go ahead and let's take a trip down memory lane. Now get ready. This is the very first arcade or Mame cabinet that I built. Now the thing is, you know, when I first got into Mame, I was just amazed. Probably like most of you were, or anybody who's had a Mame cabinet. Oh my god, the wonders. All you need is an old computer. Now, yes, you look at this thing nowadays, it's probably, you know, considered close to a monstrosity, but you got to give me credit. Let's see, I believe I did have a CRT TV on the inside. This cabinet right here, I got this from, God, what was the place? Mame World, the Monster Arcade? I can't remember. It was a kit. I think the place still exists. The control panel right here, this thing came from a company that's now gone. It was called Slick Stick, and I'm pretty sure they were bought out by another company. Here we have a steering wheel for computers, a flight stick. We'll get to all that in a minute, but let's go ahead and do a little close-up here. Yeah, look at that. That is something. Let's see if we go a little higher. A little pixelated there, but yeah, I had my Mame marquee. Don't even have any marquee brackets. I just screwed it into the very top. Looks ridiculous now, but back then I thought the thing was great. I remember I was selling a bunk bed that a coworker gave me for free. And it was a pretty nice one. The bottom turned into a futon / bed. Anyways, someone came to pick it up, and it was an older gentleman. He had his grandkids, boy and girl, maybe 10 and 13 years old. And while me and the grandfather were loading up the bed, I allowed them to play my cabinet, and they thought it was just awesome. So let's take a look at it some more. Just another picture. You can see up here the lovely speakers, computer speakers, of course. We got, I think that's Marvel vs. Capcom being played. And you can see the steering wheel comes apart, and the flight stick was just basically a flight stick stuck on top. Still, you know, whatever. My lovely decal here on, you know, the front. You could see all the creases and the air bubbles. Wasn't quite a good job. The cabinet itself I painted blue, just to be different. I remember I had a roommate at the time. She came home and she's like, "What the hell?" Because I actually painted this in my living room, and the entire living room smelled like paint for a day. And then you can see just a blanket down here that I put the cabinet on top of. Generic coin door, foot pedals. And as you can see, my paint job right here, not exactly the best, but, you know, whatever. Like I said, you can look back, you can laugh. Now the control panel, like I said, I got it from a company called Slickstick. And this control panel, I think it was on sale for $250. And I snatched it up, bought it. And it was awesome. I loved this thing to the very end till I finally sold it. And the sad thing is, the company Slickstick, they made this, and like a couple months later, after I got this one, they discontinued this model, and they only sold the $500 and $600 models of their control panels, which had, you know, a spinner, a trackball, a 4-way joystick, and 4 sets of controls, and I never really needed that. So, you know, I was lucky when I got this. This thing was awesome. And basically it was just mounted to the top of the cabinet kit that I got here. What else we got? Just a close-up. Nothing fancy. I don't even know why I took these pictures way back then. Probably just because I thought it was neat. But, yeah. Now, if we go back, the marquee up here, you probably can't tell. It's real pixelated, but it wasn't exactly a perfect fit. There was a huge gap right here, probably about maybe an eighth of an inch, about an eighth of an inch. And I tried to get this printed and resized at, I think it was Kiko's, and they refused to touch it. Basically, they said, you know, trademark violation, blah, 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 whatever. Now, here's the cabinet on the side. Generic Mame side art. You can see the control panel right here. You can see all the holes from all the bolts that I had to put in. This right here is a drawer, was where you kept your keyboard for your main cabinet, your mouse, whatever. And yep, that's a CRT TV, so it looked a little more accurate. Of course, I didn't paint the inside. You can see right here, you got the inside color of the wood, or whatever it is the material was, and some brush strokes. Again, at the time, I thought this thing was awesome. You know, I suppose if I was to get this back for free, I'd take it. I could probably fix it up, but... And here's the other side. My generic side art was peeling. I don't know how much I paid for it, but yeah, it started peeling. Didn't stick too well. Eventually, I just took it off. Now I was looking. If you see over here in the corner of my TV, I think that's Lionheart that's playing. And this is my old house. This is years ago. But yeah, you can see the keyboard right here. You pull out the drawer. Even the paint, I didn't even bother painting the top of the drawer right here. Just because I figured, you know, once it's closed, you're not going to see it. More brush strokes over here. Now, I think we're going to something different next. Guess not. Just a control close-up of the marquee. And there. That's the gap I was talking about right there. Look at that. Really horrible. The other thing I remember, you know, there's not even any marquee brackets, so I just drilled holes into the plexi and then screwed the thing into the cabinet. And I think maybe it was right here in the bottom right-hand corner. I actually cracked the marquee, I believe. Can't remember quite that well, but I'm pretty sure I cracked it. So, you know, it was a catastrophe, but oh well. Now, I think here's where we get into some extra stuff. But, yeah, let's just take another quick look. All this, my very first Mame arcade cabinet. You got the computer screen right down here. Of course, when I had this thing, I thought, man, why get the real stuff when you can have this? It's thousands of games in one box. wasn't too long after that I actually started collecting real hardware, but I still had this thing, I think. Alright, now here, this is my second main cabinet. Now I'm not sure what game it was originally. I would assume it was a shooting game of sorts, but this thing I liked. It was boxy. Unfortunately, I only have one picture. The side art here was Mortal Kombat 1 side art. And you can see I made all this up here, just, printer, paper. Tried to go for a nice design here. I can't even remember how I designed this thing, but I decided to call it the Combat Arcade. And one of the main reasons is because at the time, I was really into Mortal Kombat 3. Or actually, Ultimate Mortal Kombat 3. But, I was into other fighting games too, just, of a lesser sort. And I put different characters up here. I got that same control panel. I got Bison and Scorpion up here. Once again, I just printed that off on paper. Inkjet paper, cut it out, and used some spray adhesive and put them on here on the control panel. Add some more characters on the side right here. Now the thing that I liked, you can see right here, these are Dreamcast guns. I forgot the name of the actual guns, but inside here was also a Dreamcast that was hooked up to the TV. And that thing, I played, was it House of the Dead 2 and 3? Or maybe it was 1 and 2. There was a couple shooting games I really liked on the Dreamcast. And so yeah, this was for basically fighters and my Dreamcast. Had to redo the speakers. You can see the computer over here. Can't remember if I had a separate computer in there or if it was attached to this one. Anyways, I like this thing a lot. What did I do with it? I think I sold it, or maybe I traded it. Can't remember. So let's see, what else do we have? Again, only one picture that I have of this, but oh well. So let's see. This was another Mame cabinet I had. In fact, this may have been my third one. Just went for a different model. This was originally a Surf Planet, at least when I got it. And again, my control panel follows me. At the time, I installed the trackball. This thing was really cool. It had a giant computer monitor in here. 29-inch widescreen, I think. It only went to probably about right here. And it may look ridiculous, but when you were playing, you really didn't even notice. And I think I didn't have the Dreamcast. I had LCD handguns. And I used that for playing the shooting games on Mame. This was a mini Mame that I had built. Mortal Kombat Dragon on the sides. Just, one player, 6 buttons. I think I had a coin. Maybe that was player 1 only. I can't remember. I built this thing just because I had some money to burn. And I thought, well, might as well. I decided to name it 44 Magnum. Real simple, black and red, a little bit of blue. Smoke screen cover right here. Yeah, it really didn't cost me too much. Again, I was still into Ultimate Mortal Kombat 3 at the time. So I actually played this thing a lot. I eventually traded this for a Donkey Kong cocktail and a cherry gambling machine. Now here's the funny thing. Many, many years later, I can't remember if it was Craigslist or maybe it was on eBay, I saw this being sold, or someone trying to sell it, and I think they were asking $800 for it or something. And I just thought it was kind of funny to see something that I had built in one state and many years later in a completely different state someone else was selling it. I think it was maybe in Texas. So basically, I think I got a pretty good deal by trading this. You know, a Donkey Kong cocktail cabinet, pretty good. Actually, you know what? It may not have been a Donkey Kong. It may have been a Crazy Kong. That's the bootleg Donkey Kong. Still, I think I got a good deal because that cocktail cabinet, I'm pretty sure I sold for like $600. And the Cherry Master gambling machine, I think I sold that for a couple $100, or maybe it was a trade. Anyways, I think it was a pretty good deal. And here we just got another small picture, you know, just from the front, nothing fancy. Now I do know the joystick and the buttons, I got that from, what's it called? An X-Arcade X-Arcade stick. Not the tank stick, just the regular one. I had a spare one. I thought it was an okay joystick. Never really cared for it too much. So I took it apart and, you know, used some of the parts. And here we go. Just another side pick, nothing fancy. Again, it is kind of weird how I built this thing and traded it in one state, and then years later I find an ad, I'm pretty sure is eBay, and someone was selling this in another state. Like I said, I think it was Texas. I just thought that was kind of neat, you know? It's like, well, that's the one I built. Now, granted, maybe someone just had the exact same idea I did, but yeah. Okay, so now we're going to get into some extra stuff. Really has nothing to do with Mame arcades. I saw these pictures, and probably judging by the thumbnail you see for this video, you're wondering when I was going to get to this. But here we go. Yes, at one time I had a Freddy Krueger in my house. Now, in the same house from my first Mame arcade, I actually had a spare bedroom which I converted into kind of like a den gaming movie room. Unfortunately, I don't have any pictures except for just these few, and they don't show the rest of the room. But I had, you know, a sofa in there, some tables, some movie props, movie memorabilia. I think I had, what did I have? I had Aliens Pulse Rifle aftermarket and an aftermarket Aliens tracker. I had Alien vs. Predator figures on the wall. Of course, I had this giant Freddy. A leather sofa. Can't remember if that's real leather or fake. I think it was real because I got it from my grandfather, and he was known for spending some good money on good quality stuff. You know, I had a TV in there. I had an original Xbox hooked up. I think it was a modified Xbox. But yeah, this is the thing that I had. There's a Freddy Krueger that, you know, I guess you could say I built. If you've seen some of my other videos, you know I still have the claw and I still have this Jason Voorhees mask. But yeah. Got another picture right here, just a close-up. A nice quality Freddy Krueger mask. This thing, I had another mask on here, but it looked too cartoony and it was too big. So it didn't look too well. I sold that one and I got this higher quality Freddy Krueger mask. The fedora hat, Freddy Krueger sweater. These were actually just a ragged old pair of jeans that I had. The inside is actually a skeleton. You could probably see right here from the light, you could see the rib cage. And of course I got the claw in one hand, and to hide the other hand, which was, you know, bones, I just put the Jason Voorhees mask right there. kind of stuffed it, and yeah, I just had it sitting right there. It's kind of neat. Everybody who came over, friends and family, they would think it was pretty awesome. I had a girlfriend that I scared one time. She didn't know I had this. Pretty sure it was a girlfriend. Yeah. It was a chick. Anyways, I told her to go in this room to get me something. It was light. She turned on the light. Got scared. It was a good laugh. God, I can't even remember her name. Anyways. Another picture, just close up again. There you got the hand, the claw, and what is that? Looks like a caffeine-free Diet Coke. So, I think I just put that there just for the picture. If we go back, well, it's there too. Huh. Can't remember if I had it there all the time, or if it was just for when I was taking these pictures. Here's the last picture I had. Just, two-seater little sofa right here. You see I have a little table right here, and I had a Freddy versus Jason figure set, as well as a... what was this figure called? I think it was Mighty Max? Something Max. But it was a doll that you could dress up like Freddy Krueger. And you just get another close-up. Got the face, everything. So I thought that was pretty cool. The way that the room was set up is up over towards the front was the TV and everything. To the wall that was over here, I had figures set up. On the right side of the TV, as you were facing the TV, that's where I had a pulse rifle on the wall, aliens tracker, some other stuff. It was just a little spare room that I just created into something nice. But that's it. Really nothing more to show. Just thought you guys would like to see everything. But yeah. So hopefully you enjoyed this. If not, don't worry, I got some actual arcade stuff coming. So until next time.
That's it, man. Game over, man. It's game over.